Welcome back, Cokesters. It's good to see you here at SHC TV, and I appreciate that you're joining me today for an overview of episode 2 of the trite, insipid, wannabe, aspirational bordello of boredom that is the latest offering from Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. I am, of course, talking about, quote, with love, Meghan, end quote, episode 2. Before we move forward, though, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share, and to remember to comment anytime you feel you have something constructive, supportive, or interesting to add. Also, today I am trying a new technology for gathering my audio. So, if you would please let me know of any difficulties that you might have hearing, just leave that in the comments ASAP, and I might jerk the video down real quick to fix it. But hearing is important, and so we shouldn't be taken down for long. But don't let that stop you from letting me know if you can't hear. Okay, Mindy Kaling is our special guest for today, and she is an Emmy-winning comedy writer and won a Tony Award in 2022 as one of the producers of A Strange Loop. Future projects include 2025's film Running Point. She is represented by Creative Artist Agency, or CAA. She met Meghan when she did archetypes with her, and after that, they inexplicably continued their friendship by being pen pals. The handwriting obsessed Meghan never fails to use her pen and the glamour of her faux flounces to love bomb anybody. And so I'm sure she was a formidable correspondent in that respect. But also, I also assume they emailed each other and texted each other and all the 21st century ways of communicating with each other as well. After all, Meghan did enjoy tacos with Michelle Obama, even though the two women were thousands of miles apart. Mindy got mixed up in this particular project because she's just had her third baby. And when Meghan's people called offering this particular deal, she figured it probably would be more glamorous than sitting around having a new third child do the kind of things to parents that new children do. And so she accepted the invitation. Since this is a kids' party themed episode, one should know that Mindy herself has children. She's credited her third child with being why she's participated in the first place. And that's pretty much all you need to know about Mindy for today, or for now. I've got some tea coming. This scene shows us an obligatory shot of Meghan wielding through the neighbor's produce, as it turns out, scanning the terrain with her obviously expert eye, keen eye for detail, picking just the perfect berries for her day full of fruit artistry. No jam making today, unfortunately, but there will be plenty of food arranging today for the children's party that Meghan's planning for today, but which isn't happening. Apparently, this is an opportunity to plan and prepare food for a child's party that only Mindy and Meghan will attend. Just some tea from behind the scenes, and take it with a grain of salt as you will. Meghan apparently on this day called the crew into work unexpectedly early, and irritation was rife. Meghan responded by flippantly letting her cameraman and boom opera seen here know that the berries were very good and they really should just try some. No hostessry or host is it hostessry or hostessy? Hostessry. No hostessry. No neighborliness, no sign of good service, just no bringing the berries out in a bowl where they've at least been rinsed clean from the dirt that's clung to them overnight. No, they should just pick them themselves off the branch and eat them because really they're quite good, as you can see. Whatever happened outside, by the time Megan got inside, she appeared to have changed her tune a bit. She lets everyone know, "Oh, I woke up early, guys." She goes on to explain that she's woken up early and doesn't have a thing prepared for Mindy's visit, but she turns and asks the camera crew, "Are you going to have some coffee too?" "I'm going to have some coffee." "Okay." And then a little later on, when she serves the coffee, the cameraman says, "I like that you're not only preparing stuff for Mindy, I'm involved." And Megan says, "Hostessing doesn't stop at one person, it's the spirit of it." You do with that what you will. So, despite her change of heart regarding hostessy gestures being directed toward the crew, and despite her calling in seemingly her crew early because she has, quote, nothing to serve Mindy, she doesn't mind taking an amount to give this quick insight into her psyche. "I wake up every morning early and I really take a lot of pride in making breakfast for my family. So maybe I'm just comfortable with this quick pace because mornings are fast, mornings are fast, mornings are fast." That's exactly how she says it. Mornings are fast, mornings are fast, mornings are fast. Like none of us have ever put children on a school bus or tried to find their shoes or made breakfast for them or done any of those things. But we've got Megan here, so don't worry. She's here to tell us that mornings are fast, mornings are fast, mornings are fast. And let that be said and let it be known. Another thing that can be said and known is that while I'm going to step out on a limb here and project that the modern mother is serving up toast or bagels with cream cheese, maybe some yogurt, maybe some cereal or just a couple of Eggos thrown at their kids as they run out of the door. Um, Maybe that's what most or at least some mothers are doing. And for many mothers, they're running right behind their kids to get in the car to get everybody to work and to school. But I don't think Megan actually has a clue in hell about how fast mornings actually are, because her shadow doesn't darken the door of an office until she's good and well ready for it to. And also, if rumors are true, there's no rush getting Archie or Betty for ready for school by an airtight time either, since rumor has it they're both homeschooled with a cohort of kids right there in Montecito. But whatever, Mindy's coming. And isolated on a tack board in Megan's rent-a-kitchen is Megan and Mindy's recording archetypes, which Megan glances at and says, "We all need mom friends." Then, for effect, she emphasizes and whispers, "We need them." So, we all need mom friends. We need them before she begins cooking. The only word she uses to describe Mindy's work is their time together on archetypes and her function as a mom friend. That's why I went ahead and gave a little resume of all the stuff that Mindy has done throughout her career, more than can be said for Megan in a way. But Megan can't be recognized in this program for the stuff she's done with Mindy. So she's not going to mention anything that Mindy's not done with Megan. This is why Megan then goes and starts making a souffle teeming with edible flowers. She also makes a yogurt parfait, like we all do for our kids, while repeating how easy all of this is to make on your own for your own family. Just throw together that souffle. Just make yogurt parfaits for your kids while you're chasing them out the door and trying to get in the car yourself. Surely you can do it. It's easy. This is why Megan is here, to show just how easy it is for the regular mom to handle these tasks. And you know what? Maybe it is easy for Megan. Maybe this is why. She's throwing back alcohol during the preparation, presentation, and partaking of each course, and participation in each activity she prepares. You can see there in the closed captions that Mindy seems a little concerned, but maybe that's just me. Another thing Megan advises Mindy is that if she had, quote, only a little bit of time, quote, she could do this, as in make a balloon arch for her kids' parties. Megan says, wouldn't your kids love something like this? And Mindy says, for at least the third time that she has said that day, that she has a lady that she uses to come help her plan parties for her children. And Megan continues to be utterly tone deaf and continues to throw out all of these remarks and emphasis about how easy this is. Anybody could do it for their kids. And then in Mindy's direction, at one point, she does say, of course, I'm not trying to put your lady out of a job. Now, it may just be me, but it's at this point that Mindy begins looking visibly irritated, and we haven't even gotten to the jam yet. In fact, with their next exchange, Mindy's pretty openly taking stock in their friendship, you can tell. Or at least I can tell. If it looks like something different to you, let me know. But it seems to me that she's starting to have had enough. Mindy starts trying to see what they ever had in common. And really, as far as they're both having been in TV shows for 7, 8 years, that's about it. Of course, Mindy's was on network TV and Megan's wasn't. And Mindy did win an Emmy Award for her work, and Megan didn't. So then they start talking about their childhood, their rags to riches childhood. And Megan shares her gut wrenching tale of fast food, being a latchkey kid, TV dinners, and watching Jeopardy together. And you know what? Quick poll, everybody. Quick poll. Those of us who were born in the 70s and 80s, or even before that, or after that, who had the experience of having a latchkey or having your house key with you for when you got home before your parents, and then had the experience of eating fast food or TV dinners, or even the food your mom made you off TV trays in the living room in front of whatever TV shows were cool at the time. Let me know if that was your experience too, because that was my experience. And Megan's acting like she's had some sort of disjust or injustice perpetuated against her. And I'm kind of like, yeah, that's just kind of the stuff we did back then. Like, you got your food, you sat down, you watched Alex Trebek. May he rest in peace. I think this is just how we did it. And so maybe not, but in the comments, let me know. But let me tell you this, if it is the way we all did it, it's a hell of a lot better than growing up locked in a mansion, isolated from extended family, knowing with every passing day that I soon won't even be able to talk to my dad anymore, as I'll surpass his peak intellectual capacity in probably just a few weeks. Wait a minute, Harry here. What do you mean, my peak intellectual capacity? What's that mean? Well, I won't be able to play with you anymore. But Archie, Betty, I'm your pa. No matter what she says, please keep promise to coming to my playroom and playing with me too. Please. Anyway, we've got to finish this boring crap for today, so let's move on before Megan reminds us while we're all here, and she's going to. And truly is, party's over. As Megan abhors us up at the top right to let's stay in the land of what kids love. Then somehow Mindy keeps talking about the different fast food places she grew up liking because, there's nothing wrong with liking fast food. And Mindy says, I don't think anyone in the world knows that Meghan Markle has eaten in the Jack in the Box and loves it. It's funny you keep saying Meghan Markle. You know I'm Sussex now. But it just means so much to go, this is our family name. Megan, perhaps if you were still living in the UK, you would be Megan Sussex, and your husband would be Harry Sussex, and your children would be Betty and Archie Sussex. But you are not in the United Kingdom, and therefore your children's last names are what is on their birth certificate, which we don't know where official birth certificates are on these two, but the ones we can find do say that their last name is Mountbatten Windsor. So instead of lecturing poor Mindy Kaling for trying to find something to talk to you about, maybe instead look up your own family history and get that figured out, and then go ahead and lecture people on what they can and can't call you, because trust me, I can think of a better family name for you guys. It's just not nice and not fair to the children. So now we'll let the rest of this clip along as quickly and without fanfare as possible. They make sandwiches for their children's party. Things like cucumber and PB and J. And if you look at the top left, you can see that Markle's been sprinkling edible weeds all over the sandwiches again. One thing though about these this record about how they're doing these sandwiches confuses me. They're cutting the bread first. Like, if you look over here, and this is Mindy's, and I don't blame her because she's just following what that other bonehead is doing, putting sandwiches together. But you can see she's already taken one piece of bread and made it into a circle and then put peanut butter all over it. And now she's putting jelly on another piece of bread. You know, and they're being dealt with separately. And even with these cucumber sandwiches, which here's Megan doing some cucumber sandwiches, you just can't see behind that giant S that is my name. But you can see that they're layering the cucumbers after the bread has been cut, not before. And I have a couple of things to say about that because it goes against what I always thought about life and held to be true. First of all, and I guess this is just a matter of taste, but I would peel the cucumber before I put cucumber in a cucumber sandwich. I wouldn't leave the the skin on cucumbers for cucumber sandwiches. The second thing I would do for any kind of sandwich that I made with the cutesy little cookie cutter, you know, decorative bent to it, is I would make the sandwich and then I would take the cookie cutter and cut the whole thing one shebang. And then you get a nicer looking sandwich that it peels, it kind of holds its own toppings in because the blades coming or the blade coming down just kind of pushes the bread and the in what do you call it? Not the and the toppings. I get they're not really toppings though, are they? They're called something else. The bread and their contents together so that the sandwich just looks neater. That's how I would do if I were hostessing this sort of thing. But I'm not the super mega host that Megan is, so maybe I should just shut my trap and hurry on to the next thing and not draw this out any longer. Yeah, that at the upper left where it says Megan, don't let me distract you from your goodness with this greatness. Yeah, Mindy, she actually said that to you on what she thinks is going to be national television, but is really just a glorified infomercial for any mother who has Pinterest. Um, so, yes, that seemed to me like an insult. And it was at a point in the program where Mindy was already started questioning how it was they were getting along. Anyway, I just kind of crammed the rest of that got made together so that we didn't have to belabor this any more than absolutely necessary. If you look at the bottom left, you can tell how Megan cuts bread, and that is the only way we should cut bread. She always cuts it along a little bit of an angle. Okay. And so that's what you need to be doing too. Okay. And I don't want to hear about you doing anything different because that would be wrong. You would be distracting yourself with goodness when you could be presenting yourself with greatness. Just don't forget that. In the second screen to the left there, she's putting more edible plants onto looks like some kind of um, hard bread with a cream cheese base and a flour. And there's a big pile of them moving on over. And then finally, we get uh, what is she? The Marchioness Emma's ladybugs. There they are, right down there at the bottom left, imitated just as pretty as you please. And with this is the last of the cooking that needs to be done. And Mindy's going to go off and change clothes. And Megan's going to change clothes, but she has to do one more thing in another set of clothes. And then she's going to change into her flower garden gear, which has all new questions involved in it. But anyway, that is the rest of their cooking for this child's party that no children will attend. Okay, we're in another outfit for this show. You'll notice that she's been cooking in the ever proper color white, having worn a. Hold on, have one second little intermission here. I have on what she wears because at one point Mindy was very clearly asked to ask her what she was wearing. Mindy said something to her like, Megan, who does your look? What? And then Megan was like, what? Lick? I don't know what a lick is. And then she is finally told it's who's made the clothes you're wearing, you knucklehead. Anyway, her white pants that she's been wearing this whole time are from Zara. And Mindy says, no way. But way, my friends, way. And then her little over the shoulder, you know, sweater that she just breezily cast over both shoulders without even tying it, just as an accessory, is by Laura P.A. And then her shirt, her white shirt, was by Jenny Kane. So, just in case you couldn't complete your life without that information, there it is. What she's wearing right now, I have no idea, but I do know it's the same show, and she has had felt the need to wear something different. So what she's doing right now is putting together kids' party gift bags, because none of us know how to do that unless she shows us how. And so she's got bags there, and her gift bag idea is really cute. Now, I will give the devil her due. She's given them a little pack of seeds, and bottom center, you can see these cute little mini gardening tools, and to the left she's using her calligraphy to write that they're sugar snap peas. Of course, she's writing it in cursive, which I'm not sure the kids around her are learning cursive or not, but I'm sure their parents will read it to them. And then she tucks them into a little bag there in the far right screen and puffs it all in that very nice gift bag with the wadded up paper at the bottom. And she is so proud to put that wadded up paper at the bottom of the bag because it will help it maintain its shape. Well, let me just say, as a parent, I hate that wadded up paper that gets put at the bottom of bags, because it ends up somehow in every square foot of my house. No matter what I do to try to keep it up, years and years from now, I will find one of those squealy little paper things that has come from the gift bag of some birthday party that my kids went to. So that is Megan, and that is her gift basket. All right, we're getting close to the end, everybody. Hang in just a few more minutes and we will be done. So, the next to the last project that Megan tackles is the fruit rainbow. Now, if you cast your mind back to the very beginning of this episode, when she was just lounging through whatever garden she was using for this shoot, and choosing just the perfect berries and fresh produce to use, this is what she was planning to use it for. So while all the other cooking and balloon wall making and Mindy Kaling insulting that's been going on, surely someone backstage has been cutting up this fruit for her so that she can organize it into a fruit crudité shaped like a rainbow, because kids love rainbows. And in fact, if you can see down at the bottom middle, you'll see she's even got one on a single plate in case maybe your kid is the birthday kid, or your kid is the one who's allergic to citrus or something like that. But that is an option too. And it's a pretty tray. I'm not saying it's not. She does later on peel bananas and make those kind of around the clouds of the rainbow. But the dish itself isn't big enough to kind of do the clouds justice. So I don't know. I would have found something different to do that. But take a look at what she's wearing. That green sweater looks an awful lot like what she wore in Invictus in the Winter Games, not even 2 weeks ago in Whistler, British Columbia, Canada. But with it, she is wearing, and correct me if I'm wrong, but she is wearing a satin skirt. It's almost monochrome, but it's definitely satin. It definitely, at least, is the kind of fabric that if one drop of juice goes awry, as is almost sure to happen during the course of a cook or a hostessing exercise like this, it's going to ruin that dress she's wearing. Why do you have to wear a satin skirt to stand in your kitchen or somebody else's kitchen, as the case may be, and make party stuff for your kids, or not even for your kids, for some pretending kids, some pretend imaginary kids that aren't even going to show up to this party? Of course, all of Megan's parties might be kid parties where only imaginary kids show up, but that's another question that we'll have to answer on a later day. I hope we someday get to answer that question. Anyway, I can't imagine the outfit choice there, and I also can't imagine her telling somebody who works a full-time job, "Oh yeah, you've got plenty of time to just, cut vegetables into all kinds of minute shapes and then just sling them in the basic shape of a rainbow. Et voila, you've got a kid's party." I can just see her, after having watched this whole show, being tone deaf enough to think that that is true.